All right, man. Let's get to this Savage Mode 2. The long-awaited follow-up to Savage Mode 1. That's 21 Savage and Metro Boomin. Listen, man, 21 Savage has been low this year. Super low. And you know how we get down. Expectations, initial thoughts, highlights, lowlights, and then we'll have a rating. Coming into this, it was just announced maybe like 2 or 3 days beforehand. Where were your expectation level for this new 21 Savage?
Well, based off the announcement, man, I'm always excited to hear 21. I won't say I've been a big fan. I've converged over the years to a bigger and bigger fan each time he dropped. So I was surprised. The last Metro Boomin in 21, I really wasn't a big fan of, though. I think that was before I got on him heavy. Right. So I really wasn't into that as far as the album when it dropped. So when I heard that this one was going to be coming out, I was like, okay, it'll be all right, little tape. Maybe it's some old stuff that they've done that they never released and meant to release before he got into the visa trouble. Because like you said, he had been low. Yeah. And I wasn't expecting him to just Beyonce with brand new material and come out in 3 days and like from now and be like, hey, I got a new album. Oh, yeah, here it is. I wasn't expecting that from him at all. So very immediate to low expectations because I thought it would be old stuff. What about you?
I was medium. 21 Savage has begun to grow on me as well. His last album, I Am Greater Than I Was. I thought that was real solid. And I thought that was an improvement from the Issa album, a big improvement. And I just thought he's improved as a rapper. And what I mean by that is I don't mean necessarily bars when I say he's improved as a rapper. I think he's not as stiff as he was when he first came out. He rapped like he had just started, in my opinion, and he rapped in one,
because he had just started.
That makes sense then. So in 2016, he literally sounded like he had just started in 2015, and he was still finding his footing. He just happened to be cool with Metro Boomin, who got them beats for days and days. Like dude is cold with them beats. So I thought he was lucky enough to know Metro Boomin to get 12, 13 beats for a whole project. Because without that, I don't know if 21 is here today where we at with it. But that early 21 didn't really do nothing for me. But now that he's switched up the flow a little bit, his voice isn't just so monotonous to go along with his flow. Like that used to kill me early on. But now, so I was medium looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? I liked the rollout. I thought it was cool. I thought the trailer was dope as hell. Having Morgan Freeman do your shit.
Was fire.
The trailer was super hard.
Fire. How much you think they paid Morgan Freeman for that?
Man, Morgan Freeman, probably about 50. About 50 bands. Well, I don't know, though. It is God, though. No, Morgan Freeman narrated the God joint.
You shortchanging him. I wasn't going to challenge you on it.
It might be 75.
It might be 100. Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, it might be. Nah, they might have blew the budget on Morgan Freeman because they ain't do no promo.
Everything, I was going to say, everything else might have just been like, because the Pen and Pixel cover art, like, we'll get into that at some point, I'm sure. But that couldn't have been number like 65, 7,500. If that.
Yeah, that's a fact. So
everything else was Morgan Freeman, 100,000.
Morgan Freeman might have been 100, 150 though. I'm gonna be real.
That's like that nigga got probably the most noticeable voice in the world. You tax for that, man. Like that was the first thing I thought of. Like, man, how much they pay him for that?
That's a good point.
Shit.
That's true. What did you think when you first heard it though?
I'm here for it, man. I love 21 Savage. I think you kind of started going down that road. I thought you were going to hit on it, but I love the fact that he doesn't take himself as serious as you think that he would, just from the persona that he has out there, just from maybe some of the interviews you've seen. If you've been following for a while, you may have seen the noisy and Vice, the breakdowns, but I love the fact that you can laugh at some of the bars that he drops on like this, all of his tapes, not just this one specifically, going all the way back to Issa. But I really appreciate the entertainment factor that is 21 Savage, like always giving you a different perspective. For me, almost laughing out loud at some bars. Like, man, this nigga is crazy. That's saying that to myself a couple of times, just at how outrageous or funny that it was, or me not expecting a bar that he was about to drop. So that I appreciate every time since Issa's dropped that he's had an album. That I definitely appreciate. And I think he's kept it going with this. It was very cinematic. as far as the Morgan Freeman thing on there and just the lead ins and the interludes. I think they played very well. I was very impressed by an album that had 3 days of promo that sounded like it was this much money was spent on it, from the beats to the production. Obviously not a lot was spent on commercials and things like that because it was only 3 days, but it sounded expensive, like an expensive album. Like, it didn't sound like a throwaway like I thought at all. So my walk away from initially was like 21 Savage is back. Like, he took some time off. They let that stuff blow over with the visa. He was headed to being a star before that happened anyway, if he wasn't already like one of the top list stars. But even more so, he was like in a pocket where, like I would say, that Lil Baby's in now. Mm-hmm. Like, he was right there in that pocket, and I think that he like didn't miss a step. Once his album came out and I listened to it, it re-solidified him as being that star that's in waiting, that's about to be the next class and going to be around a lot.
Yeah, when I first listened to it, I did like it. I thought you said the right word, is cinematic. I thought getting Morgan Freeman to narrate with this production style that they used was perfect. I thought that was very clever. This sounded like they took their time putting it together. This is about a year and some change in the making. I think they announced it in July last year. So they took their time putting it together. And when I first listened to it, I was rocking with it. Like, I listened to it in the car for my first go round, and this is one of those type of albums that you listen to in the whip. And I think that his ace in the hole is Metro Boomin, though. 21 is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's an improved rapper, but some of the bars are still, some of them I'm laughing with him and some of them I'm laughing at him.
I think that's the point, though. I don't think that he wants you to think that he's a Big Sean or a J. Cole. Like, he's like, yeah, nigga, this is funny, but nigga, I'll shoot you. Like, tell me that I can't rap and I'm gonna shoot you. Like, I feel like that's part of the shtick. Like, and it works.
No, I get it. And listen, I think I remember that there was a petition out that they need to hurry up and put this out, man. But like, not 3-4 weeks ago, they had a petition. Like, man, y'all, it had like 30,000 signatures. People are like, "Where's Savage Mode 2, man? God damn."
That's how washed it. I'd be like, I didn't even know it was a thing that people were waiting on this.
Oh yeah. Now, people have been waiting on this. They announced it a year and a half ago. Like, people like, yo, what y'all? You know, when somebody announced something, you're like, fam, like, what y'all doing?
So let me ask you this: did you pick up on the diss song?
You talking about Jeezy?
Yeah, did you pick up on that?
I picked up on the bar. Yeah, he said Jeezy name.
But it didn't sound like a diss to me.
Oh no,
it sounded like a diss to you. I mean, of course it was. Especially after I seen it, and even the Snitches and Rats song. They said it was the 6ix9ine diss.
Nah, but he cleared that up and said that's just for anybody that's snitching and ratting.
Oh, okay, got it. I was just about to say, it makes me like, I remember back in the day when we used to hear albums and like used to be so deep into shit that you would explain to people and be like, man, this is happening here and this is because he beefing with him. And I listened to this whole thing, went through, and then I read a couple reviews and looked up a couple things online. They were like, 21 Savage is beefing with Jeezy and he got the diss song about 6ix9ine. I'm like, man, I didn't hear none of that.
Oh, yeah,
like, I heard the nigga say Jeezy name. You know what? But it just seems like back in the day, or when you follow rap a little bit more closely, that you would have picked up on those things. My point is, I didn't pick up on any of that. I just picked up on him being 21 Savage. I even thought the Jeezy thing was like, of course, I wouldn't necessarily say that they were beefing, but that's Gucci Mane people. Like, he fuck with Gucci Mane. Like, there's no love for Jeezy.
The 21 Savage Jeezy name drop seemed random as hell.
Oh, yeah, but
I didn't get that at all. But I mean, hey, who knows? Anytime somebody in rap mentions a snitch from here on out, you're automatically going to think they're talking about 6ix9ine. Like, that's just kind of how it's going to be. And this song was probably inspired by the events of Tekashi 6ix9ine. So you can go ahead and chalk that up. What on here do you think worked for you on this album?
The cinematic feel worked on the album. I think it adds to the simplistic bars and simplistic pattern that 21 uses. You need big production to go with that. You need big interludes. You need Morgan Freeman on here to make it add up to an act like 21 Savage, because it's not going to take you down through there from a lyrical standpoint. But a lot is invested in him as an artist. They took a hit when that stuff came through with the Visa stuff, and I like him addressing it on there. But what worked for me is how big that it was and how it ties into, without him being some rapper's rapper, it being a big rap album. I love that. I love him and Metro working together. I love that he, even though he's grown up and you see his interview where he's more mature, the 21 Savage music is still the 21 Savage music. I ain't trying to be conscious with y'all niggas. I ain't telling y'all niggas to get a job in the music. I may say that in an interview, but my nigga in here, I'm talking about shoot niggas, and I'm talking about like riding out. We was robbing niggas. Like
it's gangster rap.
It's gangster rap, but it's authentic gangster rap, and it's not like, hey, you guys should go do this either. It's just like, this is me. It's unapologetic. It's me, and that's the kind of rap that I appreciate the most. Like, I ain't trying to sway a nigga to do nothing, but I am letting you know that it's real while I get down there. And I just I enjoy the stories that he's able to tell by doing that. If I'm being very specific, I spoke of Snitches and Rats with Young Nudy. I like that. I like the rich nigga shit with Young Thug. I think that was a dope ass song. My favorite song on there is My Dog. I like the story that he told and started from the beginning. That was the first one that I ran back. I think I listened to that 3 times before I moved on. So I'm a big fan of those tracks. What worked for you on the album?
Man, the cohesion between Savage and Metro Boomin is nuts. These beats, like 21 Savage voice has like this like menacing kind of like villain tone, and when you match that with the cinematic production, like the villain just came on screen, or like a kind of horror movie influenced production, man, it matches up perfectly. I think they make good music together. It's a dope combination. They in a bag. I also like the Morgan Freeman shit. I thought that shit was fire. I was here for it. I'm looking on the credits on Tidal, and it says that Metro Boomin and 21 Savage wrote his parts. I don't know. I was thinking that I was listening, like I wonder who wrote this, but I think it worked. It was dope. I also, if I had to go specific joints, I like Many Men. I thought that was dope. I like the last joint, Said and Done. I thought that was fire. And probably my favorite one on here, the hardest one on here, is Running. That's the very first song after the intro. It come on so hard though after that intro. After the intro with the build up and the Morgan Freeman talking, how that Running come on with that sample is fire, nigga. Like that shit slaps. I get that. That's a perfect example of them. It might be the hardest song on here. Like he did a good job putting that first because it set the tone for the album. So I think those were the things that worked for me. Oh, and the cover too. The throwback Pen and Pixel cover. Pen and Pixel doesn't make covers anymore. They came out of retirement for this. So that was super dope. Obviously paying an ode to throwback Cash Money and throwback No Limit covers from back in the day. You know, I'm always here for young niggas paying homage to shit that came before them. So that was the vintage artwork was definitely a highlight. Well, what didn't work for you on you?
The song with Aubrey just didn't work for me. No, I didn't like any. It ain't just specifically because it's a Drake song. I didn't like any of the 21 Savage female songs. Like
you don't like female songs though. You say that for every album we listen to. You be like the female song didn't work.
Possibly. I'm glad you're keeping notes. I'm glad you're taking notes. But I definitely didn't like the Mr. Right Now. And I can't even figure out what I didn't like it at all. But it was another one that was a similar tone that I wasn't fucking with. And I wish he had just opened it up a little bit more. I like to see 21 Savage work with a couple more people in the industry, like a couple more artsy or rappy rap people. Like it was really dope when he did the song with J. Cole. Like it was unexpected. So I would like to see more of that. Not necessarily saying J. Cole, but just more artists other than Young Thug. I think that would have been a fire look just to have some more people on here. But I don't have a really to nitpick through it and say that I didn't like a lot of it. What about you?
You could argue that song with J. Cole is better than any song on him.
That's a fact.
You could argue that.
That is
Like
a
that,
fact.
that was a Grammy nominated song. That song was super banging.
That's a fact. That's why I think, and I think that brought the best out of 21 Savage. So if he worked with more people like that, be like higher name artists, that you could hear some doper music from him.
Yeah. What didn't work for me, the song "Stepping on Niggas" is some slaw. They sampled that throwback like bounce beat. That shit is trash.
You know why it was some slaw, and never thought I'd say this.
What's that?
He needed the E40 feature on there.
Oh my God, no.
He needed E40. Ain't that the E40 sample? Like, you remember when
I think he did use that. My Posse's on Broadway.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
he needed E40 on there, man. E40 would have tore that down.
Nope.
I'll make that happen for you, 21, man. You needed E40 on there.
Rest in peace, Love. I thought that's some slaw. That really wasn't talking about none. And then just some of the bars, man, they fell flat. You know what I mean? Like he's got his style is very ABC 1, 2, 3, and it's very clear. And so if you say something that is flat, bro, it's gonna be cringeworthy because it's gonna be very clear that you just said some shit that was whack. You know what I'm saying? So like that, but that on the flip side, that's also why some stuff is so funny, is because he leaves space in between what he's saying. You're getting the full bar, dude. So if it's some slaw, it's gonna stand out. If it's funny, it's gonna stand out. And it's unfortunate that a lot of these bars are some slaw, and so they stood out. So I would say that some cringe-worthy bars on here.
A lot of them were some slaw, though. Don't do that. Some of them were some slaw.
How many were some slaw? A lot. How many? A lot.
Over under 40%. Under.
That's a push.
You can't tell me 40% of the nigga bars was some slaw.
That's a push.
That's no way. It's impossible.
If I had to give it a rating, I would go 3 reels, good, worth listening to. The production alone is 3 reels and then half for his 60% good bars. 3.5. I mean, 3 reels, period.
I'm going 3.5. Solid work streaming.
The 3.5 is banging. I'm going 3.
Oh, excuse me. 3.5 for me is banging. I like it.
Okay.
I think it's a good 21 Savage project. Came out at a perfect time, quiet storm, not a lot of big dogs out stomping around. I always reference that as far as the release dates. I think that he did a good job of coming in, swooping down, making his presence felt, and probably go fade off into the night for the rest of the year. So I think he did a good job with that. So I'm going to go 3.5.
I ain't mad at that, man. You guys let us know what you thought about 21 Savage Mode 2. Is it what you expected? Were you one of the people that signed the petition, and did you get what you wanted from this Savage Mode 2? Man, we got some wins and some losses to check out.